What's going on, y'all? It's Athletes Culture again, coming at you with another video. So, there's always been this ongoing debate between two of some of my favorite NBA players, and that's between Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry. I mean, both of them are highly successful players in their right and their time in the NBA, and have done a lot of amazing things, from winning NBA championships, becoming all-stars, making all NBA teams, etc., etc. We know how great shooters they both are. I mean, some will say Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. I can't argue that. And, we all know about their great ball handling abilities. Some would say Kyrie's the greatest ball handler in NBA history. Hey, who's to argue that? They both have those traits, and, it's irrefutable, how top tier they are at that. But, when it comes to overall skill level, the debate between the two on who has the greater skill has always been the talk of discussion all throughout NBA Twitter, all throughout different Twitter spaces, wherever realm of basketball goes. I mean, it's even going on to the podcast now. Now, I'm going to play a video where recently Tracy McGrady, NBA All-Star, NBA Hall of Famer Tracy McGrady, I should say, was on Dub's Talk. That's the Golden State Warriors podcast that they got going on, and where he discussed with one of the commentators there about who is the more skilled player between Kyrie Irving and Stephen Curry. So we're going to listen to it, and we're going to hear their opinions, and then we're going to speak on it.
Because we see Steph with this catch and shoot coming off the screens, I don't think we see as much of Steph breaking someone down. Like when the game's on the line or in crunch situations, do we really see Steph doing a lot of creativity off the dribble like we do Kyrie? Like Kyrie has the ball in his hand, and the creativity that we see out of him, do we see that out of Steph? I'm posing the question, I don't know. You watch them all the time.
Maybe I'm particularly biased, I would say, just because I've watched Steph closely, right, for so many years now. But he does do that. I think it just looks different, right? I think the array of moves he does, it maybe's not as flashy per se as Kyrie, so it doesn't look as sexy in that way. But at the same time, his ability to shoot the ball at all levels creates this level of panic for a defender. And Kyrie's an excellent shooter, don't get me wrong. It's interesting because people say more talented, more skilled, and I go and I look at what in particular are they talking about when they say that?
Because it has to do with the handles, the creativity with the handles. Although Steph has good handles and can get his shot, it's not like Kyrie's though. And it may be because of the flashiness, there's a difference when I watch both of those guys handle the rock. I think Kyrie's bag is a little bit deeper than Steph's. I'll use that term. The bag is deeper. Steph has a bag, but it's not a Kyrie bag.
Okay, so you're just particularly talking about handle in this situation.
Just creativity with the handles, being able to create space and what it looks like.
Well, you guys heard it. When it comes to skill set, NBA Hall of Famer Tracy McGrady slightly leans with Kyrie, but for one particular reason. And now some may say, if you really listen to it, I don't think he's necessarily giving Kyrie the full, title of being the more skilled player. Now, that leads me to ask, what is our criteria for, or it should lead you to ask, what is the criteria for skill set? What is skill set in basketball terms? And to me, I think in basketball, there's three main, skills that one has to consider. Now, some may have a larger list, but to me, there's three main skills. All right. And the reason why I consider these three main skills, because when you're learning basketball for the first time, there are some principles, or at least a principle that your coach should have indoctrinated in you that you will always have ingrained in your mind, and that's ball you man. Most of you guys have heard this. I'm assuming that if you've played basketball at any level, you've heard about ball you man, all right? Or triple threat stance. You have to be in triple threat stance. The ability to what? Be able to go off the dribble, be able to dribble the ball, be able to shoot the ball, and be able to pass it, all right? So I think those things encompass, where you're going to be necessarily labeled at in terms of skill set. All right. So when you look at those things, considering ball you man, being able to be in that triple threat stance, all those things, I look at shooting, dribbling, and the ability to score. Those things are paramount in terms of skill set. Now, some may say, hey, you got to toss in passing, and I will say that. Like, okay, maybe if you want to put shooting and scoring all in a one, then you could toss in passing. But typically, there are about three main things right there. All right? So when it comes to, like, shooting ability, both of them are great shooters. No doubt about it. They've both been on the 50, 40, 90 club. They have great proficiency and great efficiency. We just have to give it to Steph. Steph has greater knowledge due to his accolades that he was able to attribute from NBA all-time three-point scoring records. That right there, I think, gives Steph Curry the nod, and we've just seen it from his gameplay, his years in the league of, how much he's averaged in terms of three-point field goal percentage. That right there, we have to give the nod to Stephen Curry as the greater shooter. All right, so Steph Curry gets the shooting nod in skill set. Now, when it comes to scoring, this is debatable, and here's why I say it's debatable. When it comes to the reason, because when you look at the accolades, Steph Curry has the accolades over Kyrie Irving. Now, I've said my criteria is shooting, dribbling, and scoring in terms of the ability to score. That right there, those are your skill set levels. Those are the three main skill set levels to me. And again, Steph Curry has a nod just based off of, one, the accolades. Steph Curry has a scoring title under his belt. That is something Kyrie Irving does not have. So I cannot put him in the label of a greater scorer if he doesn't even have a scoring title under his belt. He's never averaged at least 30 points per game in the NBA in his NBA career. That is something Steph Curry has done. Steph Curry has done that. And then when we look at career totals, it'll be safe to say, if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comment section. Stephen Curry has scored more points in his NBA career than Kyrie Irving. So when we look at totals, I'm looking it up right now. Steph Curry has scored over 20,000 points, 20,000 career points. And then when you look at Kyrie Irving, where we at with Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving has only scored 14,000. Only 14,000 points. He's been in the league for over 10 years. He's at 14,000. Steph Curry's at 20,000. So right there alone, the nod goes to scoring. The scoring nod goes to, I will have to say, Steph Curry in that respect. He is what some would say a 4-level scorer. Now, you can be able to score at 3 levels, but Steph Curry is a 4-level scorer. He has range. Range that only other player I could think of right now in the NBA that can rival that range will be Trae Young, but Trae Young just doesn't have Steph Curry's efficiency. So he can score from deep. He can hit the mid-range. Steph can do that. So could Kyrie, but Steph can do that too as well. And he can get in the inside with his nice little float game. So could Kyrie. But because he's a 4-level scorer, he has that range. He has the scoring title. He's averaged over 30 points. He's over 20,000 points career totals. You got to give the knowledge of scoring to Steph Curry. Now, the point where T-Mac was getting at, where a lot of people were in uproar, and I think they just were not paying attention. He's not necessarily saying Kyrie Irving is the more, I would say, all-around better skill player per se. He may have a favorite for Kyrie, like myself. If I were to choose what player I like Kyrie Irving, just the personal preference, over Steph Curry, just for a myriad of different reasons. But for the sake of time, talking about the skill set, what T-Mac was trying to get at was the ball handling, the dribbling aspect. Remember, shooting, dribbling, scoring. Those are my 3 criteria in terms of, skill set. And Kyrie Irving has Steph Curry beat in the dribbling aspect. Not necessarily for, I think the word, what a lot of people are missing out on, people always try to say the flashiness, but I don't think it's necessarily the flashiness. It's the ambidexterity that Kyrie Irving has over Steph Curry. The ability to go left hand or right hand. He can go with either or. He can dribble with both effectively. He can score with both effectively. You know? So, and Kobe Bryant has a great Muse video. If you guys haven't, I will drop the link in the description for you guys to check it out, where he details Kyrie Irving's game. Where you could take away the right side of the floor on Kyrie Irving and he'll still be as potent as he is with his right hand, with his left hand. You could do the same thing, take away the left, he's going to be just as potent with his right hand as he was with his left. And that's great. That's a great ability. And I think his ambidexterity is what makes him the great scorer that he is in his own right. You know? And it's impressive that he's able to shoot the ball efficiently, well, both with the right and the left. You know? So, with that said, when it comes to overall skill, you have to, at this current moment, just based upon accolades and, you know, we've actually seen the work put in. Steph Curry has it. Steph Curry has the overall skill just off of shooting and scoring, okay? Now, when it comes to dribbling, Kyrie Irving has the edge. Kyrie Irving is a better ball handler than Steph Curry. When it comes to now passing, now that can get a little, that's where the waters get muddy, because a lot of people, how do you judge passing? I believe it's more than just the assist totals. You have to look at the eye test, and there is no way to quantify the eye test, all right? You just can't quantify it. But if you really study Kyrie Irving's game and see his vision on the floor and how he's able to get into the interior defense and still spot out a man and go, you will see Kyrie Irving is he has more savviness, and his floor vision is better than Steph Curry's. Steph Curry gets a lot of his assists on the mere fact that, hey, he's playing alongside another great shooter in Klay Thompson. Teams have to play these guys straight up. You know, they can't really help off those guys. That's going to leave another man open because of that shooting. So Steph is able to just get those, you know, simple assists that way. But if you really watch Kyrie Irving play, you look at his savviness. That savviness he has, that vision, the ability to get into the interior of the defense, and standing at only just 6'2" in the NBA, in today's NBA. That's impressive. But I want to hear what y'all have to say, who you believe is a more skilled player. I like Kyrie Irving, but when, you know, you stack it up in terms of everything they've done, Steph Curry has a slight edge. I say a slight edge over Kyrie Irving. But I want to hear what y'all have to say. Like, comment, subscribe down below. I'm out.